All right, how I make my mash for my moonshine is simple. All it is sugar and turbo yeast. I get this turbo yeast from a place called, I think I got this from hillbillystills.com. I'll leave a link. But anyway, it's pretty simple. You always want to keep the temperature of your mash between 60 and 75 degrees. You don't want it to go below or above that. You get too hot, you kill the yeast, and vice versa. Okay? So basically, for every pound of, or every gallon of water you put in here, you want to add 2 to 3 pounds of sugar. Okay? So this is about 5 gallons or so. So I usually add about 15 pounds of sugar. So I got 2 10-pound bags here. So I'm going to fill this up, mix it, and get this set up. Remember, you don't want this water too hot. I just keep it lukewarm. So, because if you get the water too hot, you're going to end up killing the yeast, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so I just added a couple gallons of water here and 10 pounds of sugar. I'm just mixing it up. So again, you don't want to put water in here that's too hot, because you're going to end up killing your yeast when you add your yeast afterwards, okay? And like I said, I bought this. I did say I purchased this on Hillbilly Stills, but I didn't. I believe I purchased this on Amazon. I'll find the link and I'll leave you the link. But it's 48-hour turbo yeast. It yields up to 14% alcohol within 48 hours. 3 days is going to give you 17. 5 is going to give you 19, and 9 days will give you 21%. That's some strong mash. That's before you cook it. So today's Wednesday. I'm probably going to cook mine on Sunday. So yeah, right now I'm just getting all this sugar, all this water added together. You can add corn, barley to this, whatever you want to do. I'm just making straight old shine sugar water, and then when I'm done, I'll turn it into Fireball, cinnamon whiskey, whatever I want to do after that. All right, so let me get this other bag in here, get this mixed up. Yeah, and get on with it. Now you take your turbo yeast, just pour it right in on top. Okay. When you're done there, get yourself a glove. All right. And I'll get a rubber band and I'll lock that around there. And I'll put a little hole in one of these fingers. And that's just going to start working. It's going to start making mash, turn it into mash, and then, 3 or 4 days, we'll have some shine. All right, so I got my little worm, got my still. This is something my old man made me or gave me years ago. So every year we make moonshine for the holidays. Got my mash, been sitting for 6 days. Only takes about 2 with turbo yeast, but this is gonna be a strong batch. So yeah, got my 5 gallons of mash, and yeah, we're about to cook, about to make some lightning. When you're boiling water, so to speak, or making spirits, you should get your temperature above 165, between 160. I usually keep it closer to 170, 174, just to be on the safe side. You get down below 165, 160, then you start making methanol. So methanol, just think of it as meth, no good. You want ethanol. So you want to be above 170, 175. Everybody's different. You know, there's experts out there, they're going to tell me, oh, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh, hell no. But anyway, when I make mine, I keep it above 172 to 178. Sometimes it gets to 180. And yeah, so just remember, you don't want to get down in the 160s too low, because you drink this stuff and yeah, you'll go blind. Bada bing. So now I'm just going to let the temperature come up. We'll be good to go. Going to get some ice, put it in here, in my worm. Water will come through here. Cool water come out, come up into the heat exchanger. Vapor's going to come up in here, hit the condensation. It's going to turn into condensation. And yeah, make some shine. Alright, so here we go. Got the heat turned down. This is my first run. This is just the head. Gonna get rid of this. So I'll make one jar, half a jar of head, probably more, and get rid of the bad stuff. And then we'll get to running the lightning. Basic setup, me and my pops made this probably like 10, 15 years ago. This little setup, he actually helped me put it together. He grew up where they couldn't make this stuff or have this stuff, so he showed me how to make it anyway. Stainless steel milk jug, old-fashioned with some copper, all soldered up with some lead-free fittings. Basically, you got the water coming through, comes into the bucket, into the worm. It's copper coiled up inside there with ice water. It'll go in through the backside there, come out into the heat exchanger. Your little heat exchanger right here. This is 3/8 copper tube. Inside, it's got a 5/8, so it comes in, the water comes in, the 5/8 comes out through the top and back down. That water comes in cold and it comes out hot because it's absorbing all that heat. Then you got, you know, you're boiling your mash, comes out, vapor, hits this, condenses, and thus you have moonshine. Like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. I know there's people out there that do this way different than I do, but you can make this mash whatever flavor you want. You can use wheat, barley, corn, but basically every mash that starts out, all it is sugar, some type of sugar and water. And just making a little holiday moonshine for fun. This is not for sale or anything like that. It's just a little batch that I'm having fun with. I do it every year. I'll filter this when I'm done with some charcoal and add different flavors to it. But yeah, good God, definitely gonna cut that down. That's some powerful stuff right there. All right, so here we go. This is the first head. Gonna get rid of that, and then we're gonna have some good stuff coming out of here. Bada bing. Oh yeah, baby. That'll make the women look good and your pecker nice and hard. Ha ha! Shit. Jesus. That's how I make my different types of moonshine. So I've already made this moonshine about a week ago. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flavor it. And how I do that is I just use this cinnamon spice whiskey. It's kind of like Fireball, you know. You just put it in there in the jar. You don't have to go crazy with it. It's probably enough right there, right? Then I take the moonshine that I made, pour it in the jar. Put up a little bit more. And you let that set. And let that set for probably a week or so. Anyway, let that set. And then this is just some Jack Daniel's Whiskey Barrel smoking chips. Oak. You don't want to get the flavored chips or anything like that. You want oak chips, just like they do in Tennessee. They use oak. Oak chips. So you just get you some oak chips and pour them in a jar. All right. Fill the jar right up. About there. That's good right there, right? And they just age it. That's how they make whiskey. All whiskey starts out as just raw moonshine. Everything. So you just take this, fill your jar up. All right? And just let that set. That's going to turn into some good whiskey. So when this is all done, I'll take it and I'll run this through a charcoal filter over and over and over again. And every time I do that, it's just going to make it smoother and smoother and smoother. So you don't have to have moonshine to make this stuff. If you go buy a cheap bottle of vodka, the cheapest stuff they have out there, you can do the same thing. You get the chips, put it in a jar with the vodka, let it set, age it, and you can make this stuff taste just as good or better than Johnny Walker Blue. It just depends on how many times you run it through the filter. And once I let this set and age, I'll come back and I'll show you guys how I run it through the filter. I just keep running it through the filter. You can make all kinds of different flavors. I'm probably going to make a jar of jalapeno too as well. And you don't have to have moonshine to make good whiskey. You can do it with just a cheap bottle of vodka. Do the same thing. Just let it set and let it age. And then just keep purifying it run through the charcoal filter. Keep filtering it and filtering it. And you'll have some good sipping whiskey for the friends, family, and for the holidays. All right? All right, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm on to the next one. All right, for this last bit, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut up this jalapeno. All right? When I'm done with all this, I'm going to strain it, filter it, so there's not going to be any residual in here. So you just drop this in here. Right. Let that just set for however long you want. I'll put a lid on that, let it set, and then when that's done, I'm just going to strain it, keep running it through a charcoal filter until it gets nice and smooth. Right. So like I said, you can take any type of whiskey or cheap vodka. You can buy cheap vodka, the cheapest stuff they have out there, and make really good sipping whiskey. Yourself. I mean, everybody does it differently. I'm sure people are like, oh, that's not how you do it. Blah, blah, blah. You can do it this way. But hey, you know, this is what I do. If you got a better way, let me know and I'll try it. But I've been doing this for years, you know, and it's worked out. So like I said, I got some more in there. I'm gonna cut that down and make it a little bit smoother. But yeah, you don't need to have moonshine to make you know, different flavors. That's how it comes out from the distillery when they make it down there in like Tennessee, all the big distilleries. It all starts out as this clear vodka, and you can make your own flavors. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this set, let it age a while, and then I'll run it through, smooth it up, and yeah, I'm on to the next one. I took some of my white lightning here. I'm just gonna show you the proof. I'm gonna cut this down, of course. I'm not gonna leave it at this percentage, but come in here with my hydrometer to measure this. And yeah, we're sitting right around 120, 118, 120 proof, rated about 58 by volume. Okay, see that? So yeah, it's some powerful shit. But like I said, I'm going to cut this down so it's not so harsh and potent. But yeah, that's it. Happy holidays. Bada bing.